Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle D, or Coach Danni D, and I help women to create luxury brands by creating processes and tightening their branding. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease and enjoy your life. My happy space is spending as much time as humanly possible in my pajamas. And I want to help others to find their happy space while still running profitable businesses. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello, and welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danny D, always here helping women, leaders, professionals, entrepreneurs to find that place of balance, to find the space where they can get out of their own heads and run successful businesses or have successful careers and in general have successful life because one of the key points for me is that success is personal. Success is not made by random metrics, right? We do tend to struggle with that. We tend to struggle with the idea of success being about what other people have said it's supposed to be, about the accomplishments other people say that we're supposed to make, and we're not necessarily happy. So, I want to talk a little bit about happiness today, about joy, about fulfillment. And a couple of things, shaped this conversation because I had a whole different topic, but don't worry, I'll just put that on for a week in the future. But I had a whole different topic for today, but I want to talk about happiness. So, two things. Yesterday I had a really interesting conversation with my son about adulthood. So my son will be 18 in about a week. And no, that's not like freaking me out or nothing, but like a lot, yeah. But I mean, he's a good kid and he's got a strong head on his shoulders. But he asks about adulthood and responsibility, and he's like, I don't know if I want to sign up for the trial version of this, and so we had a conversation around that, and I'm always honest with him, and I'm like, I don't know that I would give adulthood a 10 out of 10. I'm not quite sure about that, but it's important to find your happiness. And actually, ironically, his not ironically, but my husband's usually more quiet. He was the one that interjected that into the conversation, right? And we talked a lot about that, about just making sure that you are operating in a way that is meaningful to you, that is um, filled with happiness. Because I think we all go through a journey where we're doing the things that we were told that we were supposed to do, but those things may not be meant for us or meant for us in the way that we are operating. It may not, your path may not be the 9 to 5. Your path may totally be the 9 to 5. That may be a career path that you come through and are innovating and bringing change to the world through what you do, right? But it's personal. It's really, really personal what that looks like and how you construct your life around that. The other thing that brought it to me, I saw a post this morning and I shared it on my social media if you want to go check it. But they just was talking about be happy, be silly, be free. Um, because you get this one life. You have this one life, and we always are thinking about tomorrow or, when X happens, I'm going to fill in a blank. Enjoy your life now, every day. Like that doesn't mean that, you can just not do your responsibility stuff. You still have to do those things, but you can construct your life in a way that those things don't interfere with you having joy, having happiness, purpose, fulfillment. All of those things can exist in your life, but you have to choose to make them a priority. And so, that post that I saw just reminded me of that. And I shared in my, when I reshared the post, I shared a little bit about, um, a family friend that told me many, many years ago when I was pregnant with this almost 18-year-old child that, she is a quiet soul and doesn't say much. And she just said, remember to have fun. And at the time, I thought it was sweet, but I was like, that's weird parenting advice. Like, um, it took years for me to really fully understand it. And I think about it often like, are you having fun? Um, I think about it in my businesses as well. Like personal life, are you having fun? Is your family life fun? Are y'all just arguing all the time about who's supposed to take out the trash and where does the fun come in? Professional life. I've been focused a lot on coaching. I have, two businesses. The other business, you know, I enjoy it, but sometimes I forget that I enjoy it until I'm doing it. And so it's always important. I've recommended people all the time when you're feeling a particular way about a part of your life or feeling uninspired, do something in that area that brings you joy because it will remind you, hey, this is why I'm doing this thing. Like, you may be like, I had a order yesterday and a lot of other stuff was going on, but once I like got my vision together of what I wanted and executed it, I felt altogether different. I was like, oh my God, I love this. But find the spaces where your happiness resides and make sure that she's getting sunlight. I know I talk about my emotions as if there are people, but your happiness, make sure that girl is getting sunlight. Make sure she is out and about and being seen on a regular basis. Your happiness should be front and center. I talk about emotional placement a lot too. We tend to put our fear, our doubt, our responsibilities, all of those other things in the front seat. And we got happiness, joy, fulfillment, purpose, all of them crammed up in the back seat or maybe even in the trunk. It's time to pull them out. It's time to pull them out because not only will it help you to create a different type of success story, right? One that's personal and one that serves you. Because a lot of times our success stories don't serve us. Like, I know a lot of people who have done a lot of things, myself included, and that thing, it wasn't it. It was maybe like proof to yourself or proof to the world that you could do that thing, right? And that's great. I mean, we need to challenge ourselves, but at the same time, we should not be sacrificing other parts of ourselves to attain something that don't even really matter to us in that way. So that's something I want you to think about is what ways can I bring this happiness back into my life? What ways can I change how I operate so that I'm still doing the life stuff? You got to do the life stuff. It's not, I don't want anybody to think, I talk about work with ease. I talk about um, calendar detox and all of that. I don't want you to think that that means that life will still not life. Life is going to life, but you will navigate it differently and you will enjoy it differently when you are aligned with what things matter to you. So think about that. Think about the spaces where you could be happier. Think about, I talked a little bit about negotiation, renegotiation in the Calendar Detox Challenge, which is coming up August 1st, the next round. So don't forget to say that. But I think about renegotiation and talk about that in the program. Sometimes you got to switch up how you're moving and how you're interacting with the people around you. So if it's the home life and you're like, well, how am I going to have fun? There's dishes here and this there and it. Maybe you need to delegate some of it. Maybe you need to look at different ways to get things done so that your needs are met. Because a lot of this is about your needs not being met. And that's very frustrating. And add that to that feeling of being responsible for so many things, then that becomes overwhelming, right? Let's peel some of it back. A lot of your unhappiness comes from how your life is structured. And there's ways to change that. Again, it's not going to be perfect. Life is still going to happen. You know, the washing machine still might break, and the you know your car might start making some sound that you just don't want to hear. So you turn up the radio. Death, life, all of that is going to happen. Make the spaces in between magical. Make the spaces in between something that you enjoy, something that brings you joy, and something that brings you closer to your actual goals. Because, your goals are not just about hitting a dollar amount. Your goals are not just about hitting a weight on a scale, right? And why I say that is because a lot of people get to the end of their goal that they're working on and they feel empty because they thought that that thing was the thing that was going to change it all. The emptiness, in my opinion, comes from the fact that you probably weren't aligned with the actual goal. You may have, on a level, wanted the thing, but is it actually tied into your purpose and your overall story? So you may, you know, have lost the weight. I many, many years ago, we were um doing this thing. It was called Spark People. I don't know if that's still a thing anymore, but it was like a community of like almost like a Facebook or something like that, but a community of people who were on this journey and they had all kind of tools and resources. That's not the point. I'm not gonna get in the weeds on that. But part of it was they had like these blog posts that you can do. You could do blog posts and you can do personal ones just for like people in your network, or you could do the ones that were public, and sometimes certain ones went viral. This one lady's post has stuck with me. I couldn't tell you anybody else's post on it, but I can't even tell you mine. But this one lady's post has stuck with me the entire, like, since then. Um, she posted about losing over 100 pounds, right? And being unhappy. And that stuck with me because I mean, it was a long post and I read all the way through it. And what she was saying was she had this goal in her head of losing X amount of weight. And of course, there's so many benefits to it. There's a lot of things, positive about what she was doing. And I'm sharing this example because I think sometimes we do this with our goals. We set a goal that is arbitrary and disconnected. Now, it doesn't sound arbitrary on the surface, right? Because I mean, if you had 100 pounds to lose, then it probably is a good thing for your health to lose that 100 pounds. Her point was that she had decided that this success was going to make her life amazing. She was expecting for this success to do all things, like that it was going to get her more friends. It was going to cure her insecurities. It was going, and I mean, she was very transparent, honest in this post. She felt like it was like a magic wand and it was going to change everything. And no matter what the goal is of the milestone, I think we go into them with that idea that I'm not happy because I'm not feeling fulfilled because I haven't XYZ, whatever that thing is, right? The problem is not that that's not a good goal, and that is a purposeful goal for a lot of people. I want to be clear on that. It's not the goal that I'm questioning, it's the connection to the goal. And our happiness lies in connecting our goals to things that matter to us. So while her weight loss goal was a great goal, it was detached from, or it was, I don't want to say detached from, it was, she was asking for that goal to do a lot of heavy lifting that it can't do. If you're unhappy, there's no random thing that you're gonna do that's just gonna all of a sudden make you happy. It's a process, it's a journey of finding what those things are. And what is it that happiness looks like to you? Actually digging into that. Now, once you get there, that may be a part of it. So happiness for her, probably was, being healthier, um, not carrying around the excess weight. That is on the list. But again, she accomplished the goal. She wasn't happy because she wanted the goal to do more than it could. That's a life readjustment. That's the healing work that you have to go through. That is the intentionality that you have to move with. So maybe, yes, I'm working out. Yes, I'm eating better. But you know what? I am also going and sitting and reflecting on self. I am unpacking what this journey means to me. I am, creating connection in my life, in my success story. Like, how does this thing play into my success story? And that's how we get to happiness. That's how we get there is pulling back the stuff that does not belong, adding in the things that we have been neglecting, that are missing, but knowing that we're moving with intention, knowing that we are getting things done intentionally so that when we get to the end and we accomplish that goal and we already know going into it what why that goal is very important. And I'll, bring it back to a business analogy just for my business owners in the crowd. You may have a financial goal, right? You may say, "Oh, I want to hit $1 million." And there's nothing wrong with that. That's an amazing goal. But where does that get you and what does that get you? Like, I want to do this, but why? And there are a lot of surface answers that we could give to that. But dig deeper, dig deeper into that why and start building how you operate around that why. Because when you start getting comprehensive with your success story, you start to realize that some of the important pieces are not depicted on your calendar, on your list. And as long as that's the case, it's not getting done. So you won a Nobel Peace Prize, but you hadn't talked to nobody else for a couple of years because you're engrossed in this thing, and then it's over, and then what? So make it a continuum, make it make sense. Um, don't continue to live like unhappy because you think that that's all that exists. So I try to keep these solos kind of short. So I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna leave that with you, but I want you to find your happiness. I want you to figure out what it is that brings you joy, fulfillment, and I want you to start incorporating it in your life every day. It could be something so silly and simple up to something grand and big, but give yourself the moments. It could be something. Sometimes I like to drink my water out of a fancy glass. Makes me happy. Doesn't have to be, a cocktail. It could be just a glass of water, but in a fancy glass. And that made me happy. It gave me a moment of happiness. But also knowing that for me, family life is very important to me. So while I could arbitrarily say, hey, I'm going to um, take on this business to whatever, right? And I'm not blocking blessings, but I'm going to do all these things to be accomplished, air quotes for y'all that are not watching the visual. And I'm not, and it's interfering with the things that matter to me most. And I don't really care about the thing, right? So it's getting to that point where we start to appreciate our success as personal because maybe your success is that, even though you have a demanding career, that you are at the dinner table every night. That might be it. But how are you working to get there? Or maybe it's, something altogether different. But I'm just saying, find it. Find your happy place, find the things that make you happy and build upon them. Like I said, wrapping this up, I do want to share we have the I'm sorry, not the capable confident. That's not this month. Coming up in August, we have the calendar detox challenge. Capable confidence coming up in September. So put a pin in that. But August 1st, we start the next calendar detox challenge. This is what we go through. We go through picking all of that apart, finding out where we're um, accountable for some of how everything is set up, taking action, right? I'm very action oriented. It's one thing to know you have a problem, it's another thing to do something about it. So taking action and then finally um assertion. So that's the last phase of the program where we're actually protecting our peace. We're making sure that we maintain that. But so that's what the calendar detox challenge is all about. It's really realigning yourself with what your success story is. Get in those seats. I need to get all of you in those seats because it's game changing. It really is. And, I've done it myself. I've backslid, that happens. But we work on that too, what the tools are to get you back there and make sure that your calendar, your time is being put in the appropriate places for you to see the fruits of your labor that you want to see. Because most of us have been growing a lemon tree this whole time and we really, prefer pears or whatever, but you gotta find that thing that you prefer, that makes your heart sing, and continue to work towards it. So I'll put the link in the show notes for the calendar detox challenge. Don't tell me you don't have time if you're not going to join this challenge. Whenever I talk to people, they're like, oh, I really want to fill in the blank, but I don't have time. This is why you don't have time, because you're not being intentional about how you are scheduling your time. So I hope to see you guys on August 1st in the challenge. It is a 28-day challenge. It's short modules, 15 minutes or less, that you can do from the comfort of your home. And then we do weekly coaching sessions, group coaching sessions where we work through the material that week, those breakthroughs, um, sometimes a little seat coaching and to break through the mindset blocks. But again, I'll see you in the challenge. So yes, we're doing one in September. In August, I'm sorry. We're doing one in August. And the last one for the year is going to be in October. So we got August and October for the um, Calendar Detox Challenge. If you have not enrolled, please go ahead and enroll, because I want you to get everything that you need to end out this year strong. One, two, um, you know, as it grows and progresses, the price is not going to stay the same. So you might as well get in now before we go into the 2025 pricing structure. So have a great week, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with ease. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram. For more information about building your luxury brand, register for my upcoming luxury brand workshop at CoachDanniD.com.